Tell us a brief background about yourself.
Uh, my schooling was done in a, very small town, which is from Bokaro in Jharkhand, and I have a very big family. I belong to a very lower middle class kind of a setup. And after schooling, I think I moved to CNLU for my 5 years course. CNLU was interesting because I was always part of whatever co-curricular activities were there along with other activities, studies, obviously, lectures. Then I started the legal aid cell in CNLU. And I mean, those were like we were the two batches initially, and we were the second batch, and there were a lot of things to be done in the university as compared to the other NLUs. And I think the first two batches were actually involved in setting up the student activities of the NLU, right from starting the debates and moot court competition, legal aid cell, cultural activities, festivals, all those things. So that's why it was very busy and very interesting 5 years. Uh, it was difficult to get internships that time, and finally I got it in my fourth year in DH Law, and I think they were happy with the work. And after I graduated, they called me, and I started working in Bombay in DH Law and corporate and M&A team. Uh, Corporate and M&A team, I was actually introduced after 6-8 months of joining DH Law, because for 6-8 months there was some training kind of a thing for investment and dispute related things, that how these contracts are enforceable. And then I was shifted to the corporate team to understand how to draft it and due diligences and all those things. So from DH Law got merged in December 2016 with Link Legal, and I was part of Link Legal subsequently. In 2018, I moved to Lodha Group, which is a real estate group company, big group company in India. And I was working as a deputy general manager legal. So I just wanted to have a experience of in-house. That was the reason I shifted. But that team was also like a transaction team. I think after 18, 19 months or so, I moved back to a law firm, which was Pioneer Legal, as the principal associate in the M&A team, back to the transactional team, and I worked there for another 1.5 years. Uh, Post that, in June 2021, I have joined Link Legal Mumbai again as associate partner in the M&A team. That's it.
Okay, can you say us about what is corporate lawyer and what is in-house counsel?
So, see, corporate lawyer, see, if you see my experience, I have quite a mixed match of experience. I have done disputes also, I have done transactions also, I have done general corporate advisory, and I have worked in-house. So it's not about what is corporate practice and what is in-house practice. It is all about the culture. What do you do when you work in a law firm, and what do you do when you work in-house? There is always a uh, there will always be deadlines, for sure. If you're working for in a law firm, there is deadline which is given by your clients. In-house, if you shift, then you need to have like there it's a different kind of challenge, because in-house is the legal team of the entire company. And what happens is, like in law firm, you can specialize. So you can specialize in IP, banking, finance, merger acquisitions. But when you move in-house, you need to know even employment, IP, corporate, litigation, everything, because the departments, the simple department, the different departments of the company become your client. And somebody from the HR can shoot a query for employment law. Somebody from the marketing team or BD team can ask you anything about the IP protection. Somebody from the finance team can ask you anything about financing and banking and transactions. So in-house is more like a, insofar as knowledge based is concerned, you have to be all-rounder if you are in a senior position. Law firm, as compared to, you can specialize in a particular practice area, you can work in a particular team for longer period, and you can become a expert. But obviously there are a lot of differences when it comes to execution of the work. Law firm work is more detailed. You have to go into the depth whenever you are working. In-house role is because there is lot of responsibility, because in-house, whatever decision you are taking, you are responsible for it. And law firms, you have support from your seniors or from your team, and every team is working. So there is slightly a difference, but I think both the roles are very important, and both in-house and law firm job has different challenges, separate sets of challenges.
Okay, sir. So, sir, what are the essential things to do in college to land a job at good law firm? Sir.
I think I was recently speaking to CNL students on one of the sessions, and this question came up. So basically, what happens, and you have to make your CV. Now, when I say you have to make your CV, you have to be top notch in your studies. So first thing a law firm will look at is your CGPA. Okay. Apart from CGPA, also there are extracurricular activities which has a preference. Suppose you have got some articles published, that is a very high value. You get an edge along with obviously the CGPA. Plus, if you have done some moot courts and all are not necessary in a CV for a fresher, but moot courts, parliamentary debates, and all, they give you a different kind of exposure, which brings in confidence and public speaking skills, which is very important when you start working, because you have to deal with the clients, and in fact for interviews also that is very important. But I think what you need to land a job in a law firm, I think, if to answer your question, if you have already got an internship, try and build a rapport with whatever seniors you're working on. If you don't, if you have not been assigned any work, just follow up, go to them, tell them that I have the bandwidth, I can take this up. Do the research, put your 100% efforts. I think once you build the rapport, once you show to your seniors during internship that this is what you're capable of, then I am 100% sure that they'll remember you, and they'll always try and fit you in their team if there is an opportunity. Unless there is obviously campusing, which is always there. But this is the scenario I'm talking about, a off-campus kind of a selection.
It is paper publication for a job at law firm.
So paper publication gives you an edge, obviously, because if you have publications in reputed medias, including journals, those have a very high value. But the most important thing which a law firm will look at is obviously your CGPA first. Publications will give you an edge, definitely. Publications, what is believed is publication will gives you a good idea that how you research and how much deep you can go into a particular issue when you're researching. I think it has a suppose to explain it, if there is a CV which has a good CGPA with no publication, and if there is CV with like good CGPA along with publications, then publications candidate who has got their articles published, they will get an edge.
Then how should we approach a law firm for an internship?
So internship, see, one is the timing. Okay, you have to be proactive. You have to apply within a good extra time. I think 3 months or 4 months before your winter session, or maybe 3 months before your summer session, whenever you are looking at. You have to keep following up. Most of the firms in Mumbai, they take on merit basis, and there is obviously there are referrals, which is there, but I think merit basis is also preferred. And you have to be in touch. You have to keep following up, because internship is something which is your need. It's more like your need than a firm's need. So I think the key is to keep following up. You might be interviewed also at some places before you get the interview, before you get the internship. But I think the key is to keep following up. And if you are not selected for an internship, suppose like summer, then you can follow with the same law firm to give you some slot in the winters. So unless you have a internship committee which is very active in your college, which are coordinating with the law firms, obviously they will get uh, I think top three or top five students in internships. For the rest of them, it becomes a challenge. But obviously, and you have to find out like what are connections you have, maybe your alumni, the college alumni, or maybe some professor who are in touch with law firms. Through them, you can approach. And I think the key is to keep following up. If you're not getting for someone, then don't give up. Keep following up. You will definitely get for the winters. And also, it depends on what your CV has. So that is also very, very.
Yes, sir. Sir, how to convert an internship into pre-placement offer?
See, there's a very general question right now. I think people who are in fourth, fifth year of their law school, they generally tend to apply for, I mean, seek PPO as such. But I think it all depends on timing and vacancy with the firm. Uh, it's not like everyone who is in a final year who has got an assessment internship are confirmed. It depends on the timing. So a little bit of destiny is there, and most part of it is your merit and how you are convincingly working with the team. So a lot of time it also depends when you're doing an assessment internship where PPU is possible, and how you're dealing with the team. If you are building that kind of a rapport, then probably you will get confirmed. And also it depends on the vacancy. If the firm needs uh, some resources at the fresher, which is always there, I think, because it's always good to have a fresher in the team, because a part of our job profile will become to train somebody who is new in the business. And it is also valuable when, if I am training a fresher, I can train him or her in my own style, and probably I can and develop those skills which I need in my. So it's always, I mean, it's not like the PPO is guaranteed when you're doing assessment internship, but yes, I think the whole idea is that you have to give your 100% effort and build a rapport which actually is valuable, and the team needs to look at it. If there is a vacancy, if there is a possibility of taking these interns and converting them into associates, and a lot of firms are doing, and we are also doing. There are a lot of interns who have been confirmed as associates. So it's all depends about merit and how you work, how you network with the team, how you become a team performer. That's it. Then nothing is guaranteed though.
Okay, sir. Sir, in college, should we focus on any particular area or particular subject in which we have interest and apply on the same type of firms which deals with that areas, or should we give equal importance to every subjects and areas?
See, I think equal importance is important because you will never know which area of law you are interested in unless you have worked practically. Because if you see, I was in college, my favorite paper was criminal law, and I'm practicing M&A after 10 years of graduation. So you never know what practice area you will choose and what is the subject you're interested in. So reading law is one thing, and applicability of the law is something very different. So I personally have done a lot of dispute matters also, along with corporate, general corporate advisory, along with employment advisory, real estate for some time, and M&A obviously. So it's like you can choose only when you work and you get the feel of it. So probably the better way would be to take up the internships in different departments. Probably if you work for like 2 months, 1.5 months in a particular team, like suppose you're working in a banking team, and then next internship you're working in the arbitration team or dispute team, then you will be interested that because which is your interest basically. Because today, if you say that companies, you want to be a corporate lawyer and you keep reading Companies Act and you keep writing on Companies Act. Companies Act is not something which is the only corporate practice. There are different verticals. There are different teams. And then if you somebody who goes to the court in a dispute team, they enjoy that court culture also, to appear, to brief the counsels, to research on the arguments. So you will only realize when you intern in different departments, and finally, when you reach final year, then you will be able to decide that which is the actual area you're interested in. Right now, my suggestion would be to put effort in all the subjects
Okay.
or building up your CGPA, because that is also very important.
Sir, one question, sir. Even a student with average CGPA and very less connection in law field, how can they enter law corporate job?
I think I would be the uh, example for that, because I was never a topper. I was pretty like above average kind of a student, but I was very much active in the extracurricular activities. I was focusing on publications a lot, along with moot courts, debates, and obviously the other curricular activities. Some of the papers I was interested in, I scored well. Some of the papers I have scored the highest also, but overall, it was not like a top five students. I was like above average, and I think I got the job only because of the dedication which I showed during my internship. That was the reason. And each and every internship which I took, I was given an opportunity. I used to give my 100%. I used to take my internships very, very seriously, because I'm a first generation lawyer of my family, and I had no background, I had no connections as such, the network which is required to get internship. But I think I worked very hard. I mean, there were days when we had summer breaks, everybody was having summer internships, and I didn't get anywhere. So I used to actually take my CV printouts and go to Delhi firms during the summer breaks, apply and request them to give me something, 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 even smaller firms, boutique firms, bigger firms. That's how I got some of the internships, like visiting door to door. So I mean, it's always like how seriously you're taking your internship. I think skill wise, you're required to know the law. At least when you're working on it, at least if you're given an issue to research, you should be knowing everything. I think it's all about the dedication which you should, nothing else.
Okay, sir. So if someone has made a mind from first year that they want to enter in corporate field, so where should they apply for internships?
I mean, you can, the better way to keep a list with you, prepare a list of the law firms and their HR departments or internship departments where you can approach. We used to have an Excel sheet at that time we had prepared, along with law firm names and the relevant contact person like HR and all. If possible, if we had the mobile numbers, we had put in the mobile numbers also. And we used to call them and talk to them every time now and then, that please give me internship, please give me internship. And that's how I got, I think, two, three internships were fixed because of that. So I think whenever you guys have connection, I think the students should group together and help each other. If somebody has got internship in a corporate law firm, they should probably help the other students to get in the next slot, which may be the next internship for them, and the other way around, obviously. So I think the students can group together and create a network within them for the internship. I mean, that's the approach we had taken, which was quite successful.
Saying that is quote internships necessary if we have made our mind that we have to enter a corporate field?
So frankly, it depends on how much is the period of internship also, because if you say that you have done 10 internship of 4 weeks each, probably it's very difficult to learn anything in 4 weeks time. So the benefit, I'll tell you the benefit for somebody who is studying in a GLC in Bombay. They have the benefit to do longer internship along with their colleges. But for NLU students, it's very difficult because they get only summer and winter break. Probably now, because of COVID, since the internships are becoming virtual, people have done more internships along with the classes. But when it goes physical, then it becomes very difficult for NLU students to get those kind of training which people in Delhi and studying in DU and GLC Bombay are getting. That kind of exposure probably is difficult. But what I would suggest, uh, it's all about learning at the end of the day. And if you get an opportunity to work in a corporate team of a established law firm, I think that opportunity should be grabbed to its 100% potential. And there should not be anything missing from the candidate who is actually working on it. Because what I have seen during internship, I mean, yes, those internship days are your summer break or winter break when you get out on a holiday. But I think those are also an opportunity where you get to work with experienced lawyer. And I think these things should be taken very, very seriously by the students rather than just getting a certificate on their CV. Because learning is what matters at the end of the day. If you, because even if you have done like an internship, if you write that you have done a research on, suppose, related party transaction for a particular during a particular internship, then you come from a job interview, and if you mention that, if I see in your CV, I would probably ask everything related to related party transactions, because you're showing, what you're showing is you have done this. So what you write in your CV is also very important. You write only those things where you're confident of. So I think learning should be focused more than the number of internship or the certificates. So even if you have done like 3 internships where you have learned a lot, that is more valuable than 10 certificates where there is no learning.
College matters in securing an internship and placement. College tag, NLU
Yes,
tag.
it does. It does. Definitely does. Because I think there is there is some reason why colleges are important because of the curriculum they set up and because of the rapport they have. The curriculum is very important because if you see generally national universities have a tight curriculum where you are packed with all kind of activities, and probably the training is better because students are in the campus and they are working together. So there are a lot of factors which are there why NLUs are preferred as compared to the other traditional colleges. But it matters because of obviously the curriculum which they have and the kind of students which they have produced who are now lawyers in the market, and people can see that how college is very, very important when it comes to becoming a lawyer in a particular bigger law firm maybe.
Tell us about the work-life balance of a corporate lawyer. That is very.
So if I work in a law firm, especially, I think I won't say it's only corporate, it's all other practice areas also. Uh, because work-life balance something is difficult to manage, frankly. And obviously, what is expected is you are fully dedicated to the profession. And when I say fully dedicated, means probably you will have to work sometimes on the weekends and working 14 hours a day, 12 hours a day, everyday basis. So then the consistency becomes very important to survive in a law firm. That a lot of people have left law firm because of the work-life balance issues, frankly, in which I've seen, and a lot of people have managed has very well managed it. And the interest, that's why the interest in practice of law becomes very important, because it depends on how much you're interested. I think you can pull off the work-life balance, and everything else can be managed easily. I mean, this profession is very, very high demanding, and I think this is not for people who are looking at work-life balance at their early days of practice. For the first at least 10 years, 12 years, you should not look for work-life balance, frankly.
Does a corporate lawyer have to visit courts, or there is a separate litigation team for that in the law?
So court visit is always done by the litigation team. So see, there are different verticals in corporate practice. I think that is very important to be communicated to the students, because I get a lot of questions like these. And disputes is a separate practice area where you go to the court. Now, if you say corporate practice, corporate practice will have different verticals. It may be advisory, which is general corporate. It may be transactional, which is acquisitions, merger, joint ventures. It may also be employment advisory. It may also be banking and finance practice. It may also be other verticals like infrastructure and PFI practice, project finance, and all those other verticals of corporate laws are there, where people do not go to the court, but they are fully busy in the transactions, different kind of transactions, maybe debt or equity and all those things. So to expect a corporate lawyer to go to the court, that is something which is not possible, because that is something which is always given to the disputes team, because they are assigned with that role. And there is a lot of confusion between people. I think what I've seen amongst the interns who are not aware, uh, they say that a practice on a corporate law in courts, like if they go to NCLT in a shareholders dispute or in a IBC matter, they refer it to the corporate practice or commercial practice. But it's different. I mean, those are commercial litigation, which is slightly different than the civil litigation or criminal. These are verticals of litigation itself, maybe a dispute practice you can call it, but it's not part of the corporate practice. So I think that should be better clarified to the students, and most of the lawyers also are practicing in the early days.
Okay. So, sir, what will be your advice for the young students?
See, the key advice, if you ask, the only advice is, as I said, you have to build up your CV first. The most important thing is your CGPA. Along with the CGPA, I think you should participate in all these curricular activities. I think publications are valued a lot. Moot court, if you win, or then it matters. Otherwise, participation is like, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't give an edge to your CV. Uh, Debates also are very important, but it's not the deciding factor, frankly, the moot courts and debates, because these kind of activities give you a different kind of a skill set, which makes you more, which keeps you more closer to a soft skills which are required for a lawyer. But I think CGPA is most important. You have to have a good CGPA, because if your CGPA is good, if you're coming in top 5, top 10, then probably your placement cell, your internship cell, they can also push your CVs for better internship and better jobs. Uh, I think a mixed match of a good CGPA along with publication and some moot courts and debates will be valued and given preference over a pure CGPA. So I think that's what you should concentrate, and obviously enjoy your life, because these 5 years are very critical, and you should not be missing out on anything which you'll regret later on. So I think you should continue having fun in hostel in college, and I think it is manageable that you can have fun along with your good CGPA. That's something which is possible in law school. I think
Okay, sir, thank you for sharing some valuable
yes.